Salutations, everyone, and welcome to What Mattered, the show where I tell you what mattered in the news this week. 2016 is coming to a close. So with 2017, we have so much to look forward to, and so much to dread. With every year comes a lot of celebrity deaths, both young and old, through many eras of different mediums, and they're all very sad, even though it happens every year, and people always seem to focus on the current year they're in, and the people that were lost make it such a difficult burden to bear. But this year we've had, of course, a bevy of people who have gone too soon, and those who eventually time crept up on them. But Carrie Fisher passed away this past week at the age of 60. Your Princess Leia, one of the most iconic movie roles of all time. Just when it comes to Star Wars characters as a whole, she's right up there with Vader. I know you can argue she might be more iconic than Han Solo or Luke Skywalker in the original trilogy. The outfits that she had, the fact that she was a princess, but she had attitude, she didn't need to be saved. She became our general to lead the resistance against the First Order. And even though her filming was completed in July for the next Star Wars film that comes out next year, she was supposed to be in the third of this new trilogy as well. So we have 2 years to figure out, how the writers are going to be dealing with that loss. But, many people have had their own ways of coping with this, also with the passing of her mother, Debbie Reynolds, who was already in really bad condition. For those who may not know, Carrie Fisher had a heart attack on an airplane coming from England to Los Angeles. She was filming one of the shows that she does on Amazon. She's been in a lot of TV shows, a lot of movies, and video games as well. She had a role in Dishonored, and in the Knights of the Old Republic MMO, they had their own tribute at the Tower of Organa, and it's really sad to see her go. Just the impact that she had in our culture was absolutely instrumental in so many people growing up, not just like Star Wars fans, but a lot of girls saw her as a first role model, as someone who, doesn't take guff from other people, who sasses, who's in a leadership role, and can also, be beautiful and move a story. I'm sure she was a lot of, guys and girls like first crushes growing up. The iconic, hair buns and the gold bikini, which of course she hated, but we've seen plenty of cosplayers who love it, and Star Wars fans, and there's just so much that she gave us. Also, kind of being one of the main voices when it comes to mental health issues, coming out that she's bipolar and dealing with those issues, head on, always shedding light to some of these parts of life that many people don't like thinking about or talking about. And can be difficult to come out about your own experiences. And then she had, her deal with cocaine when she was younger. She just recently has her autobiography out, where she revealed that she had an affair with Harrison Ford during the filming of A New Hope and going into Empire Strikes Back. So there's just such a big void that's being left in the wake of her death. But boy, there's not much of a bigger impact that people can make on culture as a whole, for men, women, children, the elderly alike. She'll be missed. So Blizzard is having a huge celebration. Diablo, one of the most influential video games, spawning so many copies in the dungeon crawler genre that they're just basically pegged as Diablo clones, for the first 10 or so years. After Diablo, it was the first rated M game that I ever played myself, and probably the first PC game I ever played as well. And Diablo 2, everyone loved. Big on Diablo 3. Can't wait for the Necromancer to come out next year. But Blizzard is giving us a Diablo celebration across all of their games. In Heroes of the Storm and in StarCraft 2, you're going to get Diablo-themed portraits that you can have. In Hearthstone, there'll be a Dark Wanderer with a special deck that you will be able to fight. In World of Warcraft, there'll be denizens of Sanctuary crossing over that you can fight. In Overwatch, we'll be getting sprays as well as player icons that have to do with Diablo. And of course, with Diablo itself, we'll have the new Tristram retro Diablo 1 event that's going to be going on. All these things going on throughout the month of January. So, get on it while you can. And of course, with this Diablo retro thing, we get an old graphics package, limited movement, the old UI back with the gargoyle and the angel holding up your health and your mana, as well as introducing of new transmogs, that of course, like Rit's leg, as well as the Butcher Cleaver, and new items as well, including our very first helmet socketable legendary gem in the Red Soul Stone. So that's going to be really, really cool to check out, as well as Season 9 for Diablo that will be starting on January 8th. Of course, we'll have all the new Hadrig's gifts and a new pet that you'll be able to get this season if you finish all of the challenges as you have, as well as a new portrait that looks pretty sweet as well. So it's going to be a month of awesome Diablo and Blizzard goodness just spread throughout. Frog Fractions 2 has finally been found. For those of you who may not be in the know, it kind of became a meme on, is this Frog Fractions 2? Because it was a Kickstarter game back in 2014 as a sequel to a browser edutainment game that kind of went a little viral because it was a self-aware edutainment games, an educational video game that kind of was self-aware of itself and then just got kind of crazy the more that you played. You got underwater, like, layers and like a pornography business and like really weird shit that just this programmer just put into this unassuming little game about frogs and fractions that people kind of went a little bit crazy for. So he kickstarted a new Frog Fractions game that he said was not going to come out at Frog Fractions 2, but will be hidden in another game, and we finally found it. The game is called Glitter Mitten Grove, and you can get it on Steam right now for $20. People found in that game Frog Fractions 2. It has nothing to do with Frog Fractions 2. It's like this little dungeon text adventure area, and then you can load in a Mass Effect 2 save, and then there's like a portal thing. It's really weird. I know this sounds weird as I'm saying it to you. It's even weirder if you read it. There was a whole ARG thing going on the past 2 years that Kickstarter backers were just happy with that because of how crazy and intriguing it was, and it just became one of the video game's biggest mystery. Where's Frog Fractions 2? When's that gonna come out? Where is it? Well, we finally have it, and people seem pretty pleased with it, even though it's nothing like the original game, and it took so long, and it was hidden inside of another game. That's just video games, man. Shit gets weird. Pokemon Go's New Year's event has already launched and will be going on through January 8th. We had the Christmas event, we had the Santa Chew, which are still available. If you haven't got that, you can evolve one into a Raichu, so you can get one of each, because Pikachu wearing a Santa hat, what's cuter than that? And we have the new bundles that are in the store that have actually really good savings, just the bang for your buck off of Great Balls, Ultra Balls, Incenses, and Incubators. We still have the Incubator thing going on right now, where your first stop of the day gets you a free Incubator for one use, which is pretty sweet. And going on, starting yesterday to January 8th, we have starters just going all over the place, as well as their evolutions. Your Squirtles, Charmanders, Bulbasaurs, and all of their evolutions will be more readily available throughout the world. Just today, I found 5 Squirtles, 4 Charmanders, and 1 Bulbasaur, because Bulbasaur never gets the love that he deserves, even though he is the greatest starter in Pokemon. Rest my case. The spawns have obviously been increased. They've also doubled the amount of time that a lure module will be active. So instead of a half hour, it'll be good for an entire hour. So if you don't have, enough Squirtle, or Charmander or Bulbasaur candy to get your final evolutions, now's the time to do it. Buy some cheap incenses, get some incubators, hatch some Togepis and some Lekkids and Igglypuffs and Pichus and all that good stuff. Which had an increased chance during the Christmas event, which was a little lackluster. We're all waiting for Gen 2. A lot of people aren't playing right now because there isn't much else to do. I myself am only missing Porygon and Lapras, then I'll have the entire North American decks. So Gen 2 better come out soon because these events are nice, but they can really only do so much. Your PlayStation Plus January free games go as follows. On the PS4, you get Day of the Tentacle Remastered, The Swindle, This War of Mine, The Little Ones, and Titan Souls. On PS3, you get Blaze Rush and The Swindle, and on the Vita, you get Askend 2, Day of the Tentacle Remastered, The Swindle, and Titan Souls. Anywho, the Blowfish, that is what mattered this week, and that is it for the year. Thank you all for another year of What Mattered. Any positive or negative comments, well appreciated in the comment section below. You can give me a thumbs up or thumbs down and let me know how you like this show. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time, next year.